We are. It's time to make lunch. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing. Okay, we're live. Okay, it's time to make lunch. I've been practicing my pizza making skills for the past couple of months. So I thought I would try streaming this pizza making things. And so this looks like I have audio here, so I think we're good. Drop the gain down a little bit here. And I'm going to switch to the auxiliary camera. I won't be able to see this screen or any of the chat, but I do have the Discord chat room turned on. So I should be able to hear either if you get into the channel or if you jump into the live stream chat. We'll be able to hear it from the text-to-speech stuff. So I'm going to put pizza chat, pizza making stream, channel at davidsay.com live. So this should take about 10 minutes, I think, to do. So let's get to it, why don't we? So I'm switching to Oxcam 1. Here we see my oven in my filthy kitchen. Best stream ever, says Dan. Maybe I won't be able to hear this. I'm turning up the volume here, and then I'm also disabling the voice, the microphone for the stream here. So that shouldn't feed back into people who are monitoring it. All right. Let's do this. Heading to the kitchen. Is my voice still going? Yeah, this is where you need staff. Should bring my phone with me too. So here we are in my disgusting little kitchen. Yeah? I think Dan said he hears yeah. Alright, so this is the dough. This has been sitting out for about 4 hours now. A little longer than I want, but it's soft and about the right temperature. It's room temperature, and it's about 29 degrees Celsius in here, which is I don't know what. It's like probably 80 degrees in. Then over here, the oven has been preheating on broil, and inside of there is a Nerd Chef half-inch baking steel, which has been absorbing all the heat from the broiler for the past hour. So it should be nice and hot. But how hot is it? It's not as hot as I hoped it would be. It's about 560 degrees here. That's probably because there's some schmutz on it. But we'll just keep that going. The important thing about that is when I'm cooking this pizza, I want to make sure that the bottom of the pizza cooks. And generally the issue is a home oven doesn't get hot enough or have enough heat power, you could think of it, to really cook the pizza quickly. Otherwise, normally, I think a home pizza recipe either requires you to pre-bake the crust, which ends up with a yucky crust, in my opinion, or you have to do a 20-minute bake in a pan. And it ends up being a breadier crust. It's not this elastic crust that I like to get, so that's why I've been trying to experiment with this. But I think the first step here is just to shape this thing. So I'm putting some all-purpose flour on it. I should wash my hands. Although this is just for me. So, wipe. So I'll just get this. Nice, I'm not sure if I have a good angle on this. Or if it's even focus. Yep. This maybe has been out a little bit too long, I think. So I don't know if this is sticking to this parchment paper. This is really fluffy and billowy, though, so it should be interesting to work with it. One thing I've been trying to learn with the supermarket dough is just how the dough feels about things. And like this, there's the big variable I've been having with making the pizza, just shaping it really, is getting the dough or the crust to come out consistently. This is really soft. So ordinarily, I think. See, this was the bottom. This is the top. We'll just try to get this around. Ordinarily, it's a more rigid ball. Pinching out these air bubbles here because I don't want those to rise too much. Pinch, pinch, pinch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to form the crust. The edge of the crust. This is going to be kind of an ugly pizza, I can tell. I've let this dough out too long, I think. But it might be amazing. Who knows? As I was saying, getting the crust consistent has been the challenge. Because sometimes it puffs up a lot, sometimes it doesn't. I think I have the timing right for my oven. This dough is so soft, it's probably not going to rise very much. But I don't know. It's got plenty of bubbles in it. Or it could be amazing. More flour. I want to overflour it. So then I'm just going to hand stretch it a bit. And this is really loose. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of that happening. What I don't want to do is have a hole in it. Alright. So I could do this, but there's not a whole lot of stretching required for this pizza. I'm just going to kind of loosely shape it. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I'm going to start with. And the next step, what I'm doing is I'm going to build the pizza on this pizza peel. Right now it's on a silicone mat. But before I do that, let me get the other ingredients. So I am making just a very simple pie. Which is all supermarket ingredients, because I'm just working on the mechanics of learning how to make this pizza. So here's store-bought pizza sauce, which is just tomato paste and water, I think. A bit of sugar and oil. Plain old mozzarella, no moisture, part skim, shredded cheese, and the cheapest possible supermarket pepperoni. So I'm going to make a pepperoni pie out of this. And now I'm going to have to dust this over here with a mixture of 50% cornmeal and all-purpose flour. I heard someone say something. I didn't quite hear it, though. Something about bacon? So the reason why you use cornmeal is because it's coarser. I don't know if this, as you can even see, compared to the white flour. So they act like little ball bearings to keep the pie from actually sticking to the peel. So let's see if we can move this over here. It's a little bit big. This is not the shiny example of pizza craftsmanship that I hoped it would be, but let's see if we can get it to kind of bounce it up and down to sort of shrink it back down. But this pizza dough has been out for so long that it's lost a lot of its elasticity, which is a little concerning. So I'm just going to nudge it into shape. Let's pinch out some more of these air bubbles, because those will rise in the oven. As soon as this pizza hits, and this is half of a dough ball. I'm using these things. Keeping with the theme of using cheap supermarket ingredients as the control, here's a thing of regular pizza dough. It's like $1.99. And it's half of one of these. The other half is in another container in the refrigerator. And this is just high gluten flour, water, beef salt, and yeast. So let's put that back. And so the pizza is still heating up, which is good. I don't have a fancy pizza salsa-lating spoon. So I'll just use this spoon. They don't really make the best packaging for these supermarket grade ingredients. Losing precious seconds. Oh, yuck. I hate taking these things off. It's always a mess. Ugh. Get my hands coat with the sauce. And so now that I've mastered a lot of the, I think the mechanics of handling these things, like I'm not like a super master at it, but at least just making sure this is moving. At least I'm not screwing it up anymore, or I'm consistently getting results except for the dough. The next step would be to start making some of my own ingredients. You know, like making my own pizza sauce, making my own dough. You know, so I don't like a lot of sauce on my pizzas. An important thing about this stage is that you have to be careful not to get anything dripping on the outside of this, because if you're trying to slide the pizza in, and there's a little bit of moisture on that, it will stick and it'll unroll. It'll dump the pie unceremoniously in a funny shape. So there's a kind of precision that's required in building this. So just put some mozzarella on. Again, I have to be careful about this. I mean, the temptation is just to dump everything on there, let it where it falls, but a little care here goes a long way. Whereas, like, a little bit of a lack of care can create a problem. So I'm just sort of dumping it in the middle and pushing it gently out, trying to be mindful of my movements. Oops, almost lost a bit there. Sort of tamping it down just a little bit. That's probably enough cheese. Tempting to put more cheese on it, but you're fine. Get more to the edge. I want to leave a little. Don't really want to go all the way to the edge because I'm worried about the cheese flopping off on it when I try putting it in the oven. Just give it a little shake. Still have pretty good movement, but I need to finish this quickly. And we'll put some pepperoni at the top. I like pepperoni on the top. Some people like it on the bottom, but I like crispy pepperoni. Don't know, I've lost like the feed. I'll go check it real quick. It looks pretty suspiciously even. Just make sure that the laptop hasn't crashed on me, as it is wont to do. Looks like we're still going. Is audio still good? Hope so. These are fresh batteries. So, alright, so here's this. Okay, so it's already starting to get stuck. So you want to unstick the pie. So now over here we're going to dump this thing in there. Let's get this thing down there. Ooh. So now open this thing up. And I think the camera's all crooked, so. Alright, so now here we have this. And the idea is you kind of shimmy it back and forth like this. That gets it moving, and then you push it all the way back. Get the shimmy going and then yank it out, which I didn't do a very good job of. But it's not back far enough. So now that's in there. I'm going to leave it on broil for the next 20, let's see, next 50 seconds. So what I've got going on here, where should I put this? Maybe this is a good position. So I have set this timer. This is really important because the timing is critical. This pie is going to be in there for a total of about 5 minutes. Unfortunately, I didn't show it far enough back. But so I'm broiling it first to get the cheese to the right temperature. And then I'm going to close the oven door and put it on the bake. What's going to happen then is like the cheese on top will char to just about the right amount that I want. And then the heat in the baking steel will cook the bottom of it, and it's hot enough to char it. The pie is thin enough not to overload it too. It's half an inch of steel, so it has more ability to retain heat than an ordinary baking stone would, or even a thinner one. You can take a look down there. You don't want to melt the camera. So it's about 30 minutes now, so we're just going to seal this up. And I'm going to put this to bake, leaving it on broil. Let's move this back here. And that's the idea. So now we wait. And the temptation to peek is huge. So if you've done any kind of cooking before, you know that peeking is going to kill what you're cooking. So patience. Fiddling with the food is going to be a problem. I've already done all the fiddling, and so I know that when that goes, if I haven't screwed up my calculations, because I did take a little bit of time setting the timer. It was in there for 10 seconds. I know that if I let this in there for another 3 minutes, it should be completely cooked. And it should have the right amount of leopard spotting on the top. And so, I guess while this is going on, I might as well clean up some of this. This is my pizza experiment lab tray. Shove that in there. Let's make sure that this is ready. I might as well clean up this stuff. And got 2 minutes. Might as well unload the dishwasher. Having a timer is like super important in my day. Otherwise I would tend to probably forget things. So it's good for my pacing, because otherwise I'm easily distracted and it will lose track of stuff. Uh, 2 minutes left. What? Waiting for a pizza to cook is not a lot of time, and at the same time, it seems to take forever. Another advantage of having the thicker pizza steel, even though the thing weighs like 40 pounds, is that if I had multiple people over, I could prepare. There's enough heat retained in that so I could do multiple pies one after the other. With a thinner one, it would cool down too much, and you'd have to preheat it for longer. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go. Can I finish unloading the dishwasher? Before then, a minute and 15 seconds to go. It's not fitting anywhere. I probably got at least 40 seconds. Okay, that's out of the way. That's 50 seconds ago. That's 45 seconds ago. To wash this thing over here. Hope this comes out right. I'm worried that the front of the pizza is going to be under-baked because it's too close to the front. I think I was like too concerned about getting the a good video picture of the pizza itself, so I didn't shove it way back enough. So that may have been a tactical error. Actually, I can't. I'll put that here for now. And we have 9 seconds to go. Let's get this thing into position. There it is. Whew. Bake off. This is off. And here's what we've got. It's still bubbling. And I'll let that cool off a little bit. But, you know, just about the amount of leopard spotting. Cheese isn't burnt. You know, I've been working at the time. It's pretty good rise in the crust. I mean, it's a little bit like not as, you know, it didn't rise as much, but it's probably a perfectly adequate pizza, I'm thinking. So that's where we are right now. Let's move it over here. Let me go. Let me check the video real quick. I think Dan said it looks good. How does this look on the screen? That looks like that's a little bit off. I don't know if my camera work is working out. But I don't have any Coca-Cola or anything to drink this with. Let's drag this back. So there's the pizza. I think it's cooled off enough to use this giant knife. I don't have like a pizza cutter, but my sister's boyfriend gave me this Iron Chef Dave knife. But it's I don't know if you can see that, but a very, very old knife seller engraved this. And so it's all like, it looks like it's all very, it's not like a tremendously amazing job. The pizza is pretty round looking though. So let's cut into it and see what we got. This is really thin. So I think maybe the dough was out too long. Usually I like to see some puffiness like in that. So it was way too soft. I'm not so sure this is going to be good. But these are the mini pizzas I was talking about making for the co-working events when having in my living room studio. So if people are coming over to eat or coming over to work on projects, and we have these, I can get the oven going, and we can just pop these things out. And they're actually, I think, pretty cheap to make. Whoa. It's like, because each one of these is like $1 worth of dough, and then maybe another $1 worth of ingredients. You know, then the electricity to heat the oven, which is, I can't imagine being much more than $1, if that. So it's like a $3 pie. So let's take a look close at this. So you can, it's kind of risen up a bit. This part is really flat. It's probably been weighed down by the moisture, the ingredients on top. But importantly, let's look at the bottom. The bottom looks like it's, you can see some charring from the previous coatings of cornmeal, but it's cooked. I mean, there's some browning there. It looks like it's cooked all the way through. There's no wet, doughy mass at the bottom. That's the baking steel doing its job. But how does it taste? It tastes okay. I mean, I wish the dough was a little puffier, but it's not unpleasant. It's supermarket dough, very simple stuff. There's some bubbling on it. It doesn't taste raw. And really, the primary flavor is the cheese and the pepperoni. I don't like the crust to have a strong flavor that colors it. Some of the beer battered ones are okay, but you need to have really heavy toppings for that. Otherwise, I like that taste of the mozzarella cheese and the pepperoni. So that's how I make pizza. That's where I am right now in the pizza process. Thanks for watching, and I am going to eat this thing.